Good evening, people. Welcome to Reaching Out with Eddie. Well, in a few more days it'll be Christmas. What's up, Q?
Hey, good evening, y'all.
Hey, folks. We had a procedure done today, and it was pretty successful, wasn't it, Q? But anyway, you know,
Yeah, it was.
she's probably about the youngest person in there, waiting on somebody like me. She was the youngest, definitely the best looking one up in there, but Um, um, anyway, I had great results, and we won't go into that. But I just want to talk that. Happy holidays, everybody. The next time you see us, of course, Christmas will be over, and then the New Year will be about to come in. But folks, I just got to tell you this is that it's been one hectic year. I gotta say that in the last year or so has been among the best times of my life. I had lost a lot of family members. I didn't lose anyone, but Q lost her grandfather, her grandmother, all
Yeah.
in the same year. And it's usually like that when a couple been together a long time because my grandmother died first.
Mhm.
Donnelly Holt, her name was Martha Davis Holt. She died first. And she told my granddaddy, "You think you're gonna be around here cat hounding? Guess what? He sure wasn't. Then he had appendicitis.
Mhm.
So had he been able to get to the hospital, he could have survived. But his appendix ruptured, and of course he passed away from that. And of course, and that was about like your granddaddy. Of
Mhm.
course, nothing like that was said because they did everything together. They were a wonderful couple, had a great
Right.
life together. But of course, usually when somebody been together like that a long period of time, they one die, the other one start going downhill. I just really don't want to be here that long. And folks, I gotta say this, like sometimes, I've seen things that's somewhat spiritual. Q's first cousin was telling her how he was talking to his wife, and they was saying it was a hallucination. No, it's not, folks. When a person is near death and they're talking to someone, they're actually talking to that person. They're
Mhm.
actually talking to that person. And so that was good. And so Q was able to get closure with her grandfather, and so was her cousin Mika
Mhm.
was
Yeah.
able to get closure. And once they told me that when Q found out that he was on his deathbed, and once we found out that his kidney had shut down, we immediately went down there so that we could see him and so that she could say her last goodbyes. And so she's not grieving now. Of course, the funeral's tomorrow, and she will be. But of course, naturally, as she support me, I'm there to support her. So, Q, what's up with you? What is that you got to say? Tell me who the GOAT of all time is, Q.
Oh, we talking about celebrity wise?
Who
No,
is the GOAT?
I'm you.
I guess that's the right answer for that. I am the GOAT. I'm the greatest. Y'all see the sign saying game over. I know you can't see it because it's the other way around. Actually, we was talking about music today,
Oh yeah.
and they was talking about Beyonce, and what's the other person they
They
said?
okay. They tried to categorize Beyonce and Taylor Swift. They tried to put Beyonce and Taylor Swift in the same category as Michael Jackson,
And they
and
can't do that.
they now they can't because that was real disrespectful. Because like okay, so like Beyonce, she can't sing. She just has a
An
she. I mean,
average. She's not even an average
yeah,
singer, just able to
yeah,
be at the right place, right time, married to the right person, doing the right thing.
right. And Taylor Swift, she's a Johnny Cash. Like she's a country
Country
singer.
western.
Yeah, like I mean, only like the only reason she's so popular is because white people like her.
And, and,
But
and but white people love Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson done done
right,
all that. The
you're
country
you're
western, the pop.
you're right about that. But
Mhm.
I'm saying like she came out doing country and all of that. And like that's the only reason like they really like her. But in a sense, don't nobody got ain't now one of them got anything on Michael Joseph Jackson. So
That's right.
don't.
And all they got to do is just watch the Thriller 40, the 40th
Yes,
anniversary, how they made
ex-
that. Michael
exactly.
Jackson, my respect for him has literally grown. And guess who taught me? Generation Z right there. Because I
Right.
mean, she was only 6 when he died. But I
Mm-hmm.
tell you, she know more about Michael Jackson other than the Jackson family, perhaps. So I probably might know more about them like so. But anyway, folks, we're gonna get on with our show today. The big news on a national level is that the Colorado Supreme Court did the right thing. They said that Donald Trump was ineligible for to run as president of the United States due to Section 3 of one of the amendments. I think it's the 14th Amendment, whereas if you engage in insurrection, that you cannot, you're barred from running for public office, and it definitely is applicable to Donald Trump. Now, I got to say this to you people out there that want Donald Trump to win. If you want him to win, then you should not relax. And those of you that want him to lose, you should not relax. If you want Biden to win, you just should not relax. Now, I don't. I kind of like take issue when people are so loyal to a party that they get blind about what's good for the country, what's good for the nation. I gotta ask you guys, if that was Barack Obama, all of you folks out there that's loving everything Donald Trump say and everything he does, if that was Barack Obama, close your eyes and picture Barack Obama doing that. How would you feel then? All you got to do is substitute Donald Trump for even me. Would you like it then? No, you would not. You know, you wouldn't allow for Barack Obama hardly to do anything. He couldn't even hardly do the right thing without you doing something to him. And then look at Joe Biden. If it was Joe Biden had done what Donald Trump did, would you be as supportive of Donald Trump? Now look, it doesn't mean that I advocate voting for Donald Trump or not voting for him. Well, actually, I don't think he should be on the ballot. I got that, and that's my opinion, and that's my right to feel that way. I think that his ass should be in jail. If any of the things they say about him, then he should be in the jail, just like my son Tarius is in jail right now for something that he did that was illegal. He and Donald Trump, a lot of the people that was with him that engage in insurrection have went to jail and have made deals, and Donald Trump is carrying himself around as if he is a dictator. And you talk about Russia. Come on now, look at, you hate Putin. I'm talking to you white folks out there and a lot of you Negroes. You hate Putin. You heard what Tube Bell just said. Said, bro, I saw it on the tip of your tongue. You almost said the N-word. Then you right, Tube Bell. But let me do my show, Tube Bell, today. All right. Anyway, folks, a lot of you Negroes out there are the same way. And so I gotta say this is that, do you really want this country to be like Iran, Iraq, or the Palestinians? You talk about Hamas. Over 20,000 civilians have been killed in Palestine. And you folks out there are not upset about that. You should take to the streets about what's going on. And we hear our elected officials, the same old thing. They only sound bites. It's all they're doing, scratching each other's ass, patting each other on the back, and not doing anything significant. You see how they became all up in a roars got all upset when Russia went in and fought the Ukrainian war. The United States have sent over $30 billion to Ukraine. This is money. There's no accountability in this money. It's a very corrupt nation. It's a very, very, very corrupt country. What's the guy name? The president of Ukraine? Zelensky, whatever his name, Zelensky, he is a millionaire now. Multi-million, hundreds of millions of dollars that he's from our tax dollars. Here we are worried about promoting freedom everywhere in the world except for at home. You have all these homeless people. Do you realize that you took away the COVID money and created a conundrum in the United States? There's so many problems in the United States with so many young folks, young children losing their Medicaid. And because of this, it's because these are sons and daughters or relatives of Confederate daughters and sons. It's got to be, because the people that fought in the Confederate during the Civil War did not have a dog in that fight, but it was just about racism, just promoting something that was wrong. And I got to tell you, people, that we really got to get it together. Over 20,000 civilians have been killed in Palestine. We're not talking about the ones that are injured. We're talking about over 20,000. And they're talking about Hamas attack. Man, so they attacked Israel. If I come into your home, take over your home, and then start telling you what to do and how to do, you're going to be upset about that, and you're going to do everything you can to expel me from there. Check your history. Israel did not become a country until 1948, if I'm not mistaken, May 11, 1948, and they accepted into the United Nations a year later, in 49, on the 14th of May. Man, this is suspect. Man, these same bloody folks that destroyed your ancestors I'm talking about came into America and just basically decimated the Native Americans. You call them Indians. They're not Indians because dumb Christopher Columbus never landed in America. But when he saw the peoples, he thought he was in India, so he called them Indians. But either way, folks, I can tell you that it's sad what's going on. If you look at Donald Trump should not be on the ballot. He's a bully. He's a narcissist. He doesn't care about. He's a liar. Making him a liar. He's a thief. And you want that to be your president of the United States. Well, you talk about Putin. Putin is very statesman-like. He's a very, very good leader, a very good president. Russia's not suffering. The people that are suffering are the Western nations. Colonialism, neo-colonialism, all that stuff does not work anymore. You can't go into a country anymore, America, and rob them of their natural resources, their gold, their oil, their uranium. You can't do that anymore. And folks, if you was to look at in Kuwait, my daughter's getting ready to come from Kuwait now, and she's coming back stateside, and so she'll be home soon. But the military bases are on, you know what the oil wells is. You got the oil wells, you got the military bases there, and they're stealing the oil, they're taking all the oil out, and they're sending that to Iraq because basically the United States runs Iraq now, and from Iraq they're shipping it back into America. And that's sad, folks, that this continue to go on, and it's the same way they dissected Africa during the 18th century. I think it was France, Italy, the United Nations, Belgium, England went into France, went into Africa and dissected, and all they wanted was their gold, their diamonds, their jewelry. And to this day, they own just about all the gold and all the diamond mines and things, except for the blood diamonds, because the Africans said, "Hey, we got our Africans." And so, yeah, you had a coups going on. There's so much going on, people, but it's all about white folks. I got to say this here. Why don't you just leave everybody the fuck alone? Why don't you just run your country and promote your own resources? And we have given Israel so much money. Just and when I went in the military, I took basic with Israeli. They learned how to fight and learn the weapons they have are United States and weapons, American weapons. That's what they had initially, and they're probably now, because they've educated themselves in our university. They have their own universities and things like that. So it's basically what they're trying to do is change history, substantiate about. There's no way that anybody can make me believe that the white man believes in God. If he believes in God, it's because he thinks he's God. There's no way that a person could give you that Bible and talk about the things that goes on in that Bible and do the kind of things that they do when you're going in attacking other countries. When you sit in the courtroom and you give somebody life without parole, such as DeCarlo Clark, there's no way. And then you got the Bible in the courtroom. You need to, if there really was a God, every Bible in a courtroom that does not do right, and that's most of them, the damn Bible should burn up and burn the whole damn courtroom down and everybody up in there in it except for the innocent. I don't believe in spilling innocent blood, but everybody, in my opinion, in that courtroom, most of the judges have blood on their hands. And it's sad because they use their office and not to promote the law or to implement justice. They use it as a tool in order to hurt people that they don't like, hurt people that they don't care about, or hurt people that expose them, or hurt people that stand up to them. It's okay if you stand up to them as long as you bow down to them, but if you don't bow down to them, they don't like that. And so they always want to do something about that. And so I want to read this here. The Colorado Supreme Court on Tuesday ruled that former President Donald Trump is off the state's 2024 presidential ballot, ruling that Trump engaged in an insurrection by stoking the riot at the Capitol on January 6th of 2021. They said that we do not reach these conclusions lightly, and they have a duty to apply the law without fear or favor. And I can't do nothing but respect that. I can only respect that. And of course, we don't know where this is going. And Donald Trump also filed a motion before the Supreme Court not to hear the motion to make a determination whether or not he has immunity. And so I'm telling all you Donald Trump supporters out there, if Donald Trump thought that he was right, and if he felt like that he really was immune from prosecution, nobody's immune from prosecution, folks. Come on. Would he be before the Supreme Court telling them not to hear this? let it take its own natural course, because what he want is that he want to incite people so much so that he can become president of the United States so he can get his enemy. Because most of you out there would do that too. And so no, I'm not with that, folks. I got a call from my nephew yesterday, and he was upset. He said, "Uncle Grady won't give me my gun back." And folks, you know how I tell you how black people lose their guns. Now, I talked to a person yesterday, and he said that in Dustin Markham's courtroom. See, here you go, Dustin playing God again. See, I don't advocate keeping someone's gun if that gun is not used to commit a crime. If that gun does not have a warrant on it, meaning that it's not on the NCIC, if the owner of that gun come back and get it, nobody has a duty to call them before them so they can act like they God. So Dustin is wrong with that. Folks, it's sad that when a person get a gun taken from them in Meridian, Mississippi, they black people, they don't get those guns back. Now, I was told by a person that worked in the courtroom, I'm not going to call his name because I'm not going to call his name. And the reason why I'm not going to call his name, so can't nobody go back and say, tell him or him that I said this. But I was told that Dustin Markham, anytime a gun is taken, whether it's from a white person or a black person, if that gun is not stolen, then they got to come before him. If let me just give you guys a supposition and give you a scenario. If say Tool Belt has a gun, and Tool Belt let my nephew get the gun, and my nephew give it to his brother, and the police get the gun and they run a check on the gun, which is illegal under state law. You can't run a check on a gun because Mississippi is a stand your ground state where you have a right to be armed and use deadly force in fear of your life. Okay, we're gonna get back to that in a few minutes. Okay, so the police take the gun and impound it. Okay, this gun does not come back to you. So you, when the person that lost the gun try to get it back, okay, let's say Tool Belt go down there and say, hey, I want my gun. You can't get your gun, Tool Belt. The reason why you can't get your gun because we didn't get it from you. I'm Dustin Markham now. All of you all got to come before me in my courtroom and explain to me why this person and that person got your gun. Dustin, it ain't none of your damn business. Tool Belt could have sold a gun to my nephew, and my nephew could have let his brother use. The law doesn't say that. That's beyond your duty to do that shit. Number one, Meridian police officer got to stop fucking taking people guns. If that gun ain't stolen, if that person hadn't committed a crime, you have no right to take that gun. Now, y'all need to stop it. I think the ACLC need to come in and kick Meridian's ass. Y'all better be glad I'm not a lawyer. If I was a lawyer, man, I'd have y'all scared to breathe around there in Meridian, Mississippi, Lauderdale County. I found so many lawsuits. And they wouldn't be frivolous either because y'all always doing crooked ass shit. Dustin, your days are numbered. Now you need to be gone. Jimmy Smith, if you listening at this, if you expect to be mayor again, you're going to get rid of Dustin Markham. Too young, too arrogant, and he ain't right. Just ain't right at all. And John Howard need to go too. He been there too long. Man, y'all better stop being scared of these damn judges down there and run against them. I think Robert Compton should run again against Bailey. I think that any of you out there that has a law degree and able to run for office, run for public office. They only act like that because they're unchallenged. You start challenging their ass, they'll start doing the right thing. You should not be worried about them ruling against you. Make the law applicable. Make the law apply to them and what they are doing. Make them do right. If it don't appeal the shit up and up and up. Y'all hear Tool Belt talking. So, bro, I love them the same way and they stick together. And you're right about that, Tool Belt. But I still believe in the law. I got to, because that's all I have to go on. Now, I hear what some of you saying out there. God got it. Turn it over to God. Yeah, turn it over and turn it loose. Yeah, but God give all of us wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. This wisdom, knowledge, and understanding so that we can use that. The laws are set up for a reason. Rules are set up so that if we follow these rules, it won't be chaos in the community. And when you break these laws, then you're subject to punishment by these same laws. That's the reason why I don't think Donald Trump should be running for public office. If he had just any semblance of civility in him. If he had any good in him, he would resign. He would resign. He would get off the ballot until he take care of all of his legal issues. But he doesn't. He's arrogant. He's conceited. That's what money does. It makes you arrogant. When you get money, you get power. The two are synonymous. Sometimes not. Sometimes money leads to ignorance. It doesn't lead to power. It leads to pseudo power. Meaning you think you have power, but you ain't got no real power. But I got to be on the side of the law too, Bill. We got to be on the side of the law that works for all people. That law that makes us blind. The law is blind. The law is black and white. It's clear cut. It's there. It's not based on no damn interpretation. It's there. It's explicit. Shall is mandatory. Maybe it then now is subject to interpretation. But the law was there. Donald Trump broke the law. He should not. Folks, do you really want, okay, how about I just get one of my damn cousins out of jail, out of prison, and let him run for president of the United States? You'll be embarrassed about that shit. Now, hold on. Let me just go get some trailer park trash and let it run for the president of the United States. I just put him in a suit like Donald Trump because just about everything comes out of his mouth is ignorant and bullshit. Because he got $1 in his pocket and he got a suit on. He's one ignorant, uneducated man. He's very ignorant. He's very arrogant. And he should not be running for president. He set an example. Folks, do you know that we're looking at this shit? All of you that love Donald Trump, those of us that don't love him, we are watching you. We are watching all this shit. What is it that you're teaching us? Is that the law applies? What are you teaching us with this Israeli shit? That the law does not apply to white folks because the Israelis are white now and the Palestinians are dark-skinned. You hear Tube Bell talking. Don't do that, Tube Bell. Don't do that. Y'all see him talking. Tube Bell saying the Russians white. Some of them, not all of them, because, you know, Russia's so big, some of them are actually Asian looking. I know it took you Tube Bell to bring none on black. Okay, Tube Bell, you got a point right there. But they use Russian. Now, you understand that damn white man will fucking kill his baby for $1. So it doesn't matter. But the thing of it is that white folks says that we're less than human. That we are. They look at us as being animal. That's how they're able to just fucking throw us away like nothing. I don't see many white folks getting out of jail. It's a black person just got out of jail after spending 50 years in jail. And I think it's Colorado. And the most he can get is $180,000 for those 50 years in jail. Now, somebody got to pay more than that. 50 years, you can't get that man life back to him. He went to jail when he was 20, 70 years old now, and then got cancer. He caught that in prison. And this country, some of them, they don't like me because I'm talking to you like I'm talking to you. They don't like me because I'm educating you. They don't like me because I'm exposing. Let's just talk about Charles Wright for a moment. Folks, Charles Wright used to love me. He hated the truth master. And they called him the truth blaster because he was always blasting, but he didn't say things that was wrong. He did what I did. He had an expose. And folks, they didn't like the truth master. He hated the truth master. At that time, he loved me. Folks, I have been responsible for making Charles Wright at least $250,000. But that man don't like me. And see how money don't mean anything? Because with the words that come out of my mouth, what he don't like. He don't like when I tell you things. I don't like what he did to Carlo Clark. He offered now you're gonna go from 12 years to life without parole. And then the chain of custody was broken. I just hope that the Supreme Court, now I just can't say this thing that God's gonna do something, because I think God expects us to do. I think God gives us his knowledge, his wisdom, this understanding so that we're due. I hope that those people see that this ain't right and send that man back to court, because what Charles Wright did ain't right. It's just Charles Wright ain't right. One with a W, one with R. That's just not right in there. But that's not the first time. I watch him give some guys without no criminal record. I think gave him 25 years, like no criminal record, something for the dope and everything didn't come from them. But the same Ben Ivan, his lying ass, testified in this, if I'm not mistaken. And but anyway, that's bad. I watched Charles Wright do some despicable things as a judge. I watch him when those charges, he could have dismissed those charges against me. I put a motion before him. He was the one that sat on the answer and denied that motion, but he did order the city to give me a preliminary hearing in 2 weeks, and they didn't do that. So that's the reason why I had this lawsuit against the city of Meridian. But let's just go on and talk about some other things. Folks, I want to talk about Generation Z. The reason why I want to talk about Generation Z is because Generation Z is a phenomenal generation. Not just Z, but so is Y, and so is X. If you look at a lot of the things, such as a lot of things that are being innovative now with a lot of the apps and a lot of the things that we're doing now, that's Generation X, Y, and Z. There's no way that either I or you could have done what Generation X, Y, and Z is doing, and the generation for that. I got to say the millennials too. The millennials probably started it, but you understand that my generation, the baby boomers and the flower children of the 60s and the 70s, they thought the world was going to end. What they call it, Y2K. In the year 2000, everything was going to crash because of the computer. Had folks scared as hell. Folks went out buying water, buying all kind of shit, Q. They were scared as hell, except for me. I wasn't afraid. I just knew that just didn't make any sense. But you had a lot of people believing that the world and everything was going to end, that something phenomenal, something destructive was going to happen. And so they went out. They was ready for the dark ages. And of course, during that time, I guess because they was afraid, they made a lot of babies. But either way, my point of it is that I'm proud to have lived long enough to see the generation that came behind me and see where they are. Now, with that being said, one of the problems that we have in our community is that we will not get out of the way for Generation X, Y, and Z. And we need to do that. We need to get out of the way from Generation X, Generation Y, Generation Z. But Black folks won't do that. We won't do that for nothing in the world. We had a tendency to want to do everything ourselves. I can tell you that I have learned so much from Q, and she's a lot younger than I am, but I've learned so much from her. I have a daughter that's just turned 13. I have learned from her. I have a son that's 10 years of age, and I have learned from him. And I don't know what they're going to call them, but they came after Generation Z. I guess that's going to be Generation Z plus one or Generation Z plus two. I don't know. There's no alphabet after Z, or maybe Generation ZA. I don't know how they're going to do it, but they're going to come up with some kind of clever term in order to identify my son and their peers. But I got to say that I'm proud of it. And it's Black folks, we got to stand down. Now, I want to go a little further here and talk about self actualization. Folks, in order to self actualize, in order to be all you can be, to be what you want to be, you got to obtain power. And remember this, the more power you obtain, the more you're able to self actualize, which bring me up to the question, is church necessary? Oh, come on, podcast land. Y'all talk to me. Leave me comments. Send me those comments. I'm finna let Q come on. She gonna tell you how to contact us, how to send us questions and what we're due. And then I'm gonna come back and we're gonna go to that question.
You can contact us through our email. We don't really be on Facebook, so it would be best to contact us.
What is the email?
The email is reaching out with Eddie at yahoo.com. And yeah, that.
Okay, thanks for that, Q.
Mhm.
Folks, I want to tell you that I was talking about self-actualization and is church necessary? And so, yes, it is necessary. It's very necessary. So the ways that it are necessary to congregate or to come together, it's a lot of good teachings that you can learn in church. Because it tells you the do's and the don'ts. So there's more teaching in church. But one thing that is very necessary is necessary for collecting money from people. And folks, I can tell you that. Now, if you don't believe me, you look at it. You go to church, any church you go in, anything, almost all the Black churches got all these different programs, and they keep coming up with a new program. They're coming up with one as we speak. And so the churches are very necessary for collecting money, and they use this money to prop up the system. When I talk about the system, I'm talking about the United States government, a lot of their county government, the city of Meridian government, the city of Birmingham government, or any city government, county government, state government, and federal government. That's what is very good for collecting money to prop up all these systems. And see, so they use that money. When you take that money and put it in their bank, they use that money to prop up their own, to prop up their goals, their system, their agenda. So it's good for collecting money and putting that money. They get that money, they put it all in a pool pot, and they take that money and it keeps the system going. And how it keeps the system going, that money goes into their banks. Their banks use that money to build their houses, build their apartment complex, build their malls and things like that. And they discriminate against you. You don't put all this money in their banks and they discriminate. If you don't believe me, go and Google it right now. Navy Federal now is being investigated by two State Department and have several lawsuits filed against them for denying black people loans to buy houses. We talking about folks with good income, good credit scores. I'm talking about up in the 800 tube belt. We're talking about people making 6-figure income. But let me tell my story now. I didn't tell me how many figures was. I can just add lib that little part. But the point of it, over 75% of those people were turned down for housing loan. Black people, folks. That's the only common thread they have. The only reason they could deny them an application was because they was black, because they had the 750 to 800 credit score. They had the income that could afford it, and they had the down payment. But less than 50% of white folks were denied. And some of them had less credit scores. And so they're having a hearing now in the Senate. They want them to come and explain it. Maxine Waters, I think her name is, want them to want to come before the committee to explain this discrepancy. How is it that in 2023, it's because that's what they do. They look out for their own kind. They ain't not going to loan you the money because you're black. You can think you like one of them all you want to, but there you show this. It happened to me in 1996. I think that this is with Navy Federal. This is with Myrna and Meridian. Both my wife at that time were members of that credit union. We had pretty good credit score. And so she was going to get the new Camaro when it came out. And so she was approved to borrow $35,000 to get this car with the down payment. Was approved. We did not like the car because there's no seating in the back and that kind of thing. So she didn't get the car. But less than a week later, I applied for a loan to buy a house for $4,000 and they turned it down. And guess what, folks? You know, I was Great Hope. I said, now hold up. Now you're gonna tell me that we was able to borrow $35,000 for a car and can't get $4,000 for a house? Boy, when I pointed that out to them, boy, they approved that loan so fast that my head's still spinning to this day, too, Bill. But anyway, folks, that's kind of like what they do. And so that's one of the things they do is that churches in our community are necessary for collecting money and keep the system going. They basically use that money for their needs and their purpose, folks. And they're taking that money, that's taking money out of one community now, understand, and putting it in another community. That's to the detriment. That's to the detriment of the other community, folks. And it's going to be like that. There's no way. It's going to make our community non-productive. When we take all these churches that we're putting monies in their bank, and it's to the look at our community. Our community is in chaos. Black communities are bad. The worst houses, the most dilapidated houses, more abandoned houses in the black community than in any other community in the United States. So tell me I'm wrong. But you go to your church on Sunday, and now I'm gonna tell you that they got that dissected. They have it dissipated. It's spread out. You go to our churches on Sunday, you see every now and then you can see a black church with a lot of cars out front. But you go to our churches on Sunday, you see 2 or 3 cars there, 4 or 5. Go to one of their churches on Sunday. It ain't nowhere to park 3, 4 blocks away. See, they know how to consolidate power, what we don't know how to do because we've been divided and separated ever since they brought us over here slave. Ain't got nothing to do with Jim Crow or Jimmy Lynch. It's got more so to do with us and how we think. And so we're going to have to do better. We're going to have to hold those banks accountable. If you have a church member to go down there and can't borrow the money, take your damn money out and loan it to the church member yourself. Draw off the deed of trust. You ain't got to have a bank, but you can loan anybody your money you want to. It's ways of getting around the system. But that's what I like about that church on Old Mary Road in Meridian, Mississippi. They got their own bank. They have their own buildings. They have their own school. They have their own everything. Everybody works for them is black because it's there. Now y'all hear two best, bro. There you go again with this black and white. I can't help it. It is black and white. It's always black and white. You can try to act like it's not, but it is black and white. Folks, we can't continue to be guinea pigs for other races. We're going to have to start taking care of our own, And when I say guinea pigs, meaning that they use us when we go to their hospitals and things like that to try things on us. And they've always done that, and they will continue to do that. And the problem with that is that we're not educating our own. We got to educate our own. We got to infiltrate the system. They did what the class did. They infiltrated the system. Shoot, or you can ask someone what their dad and granddaddy used to be and what they do. Ask them how they really think. Now, folks, it's getting kind of close. I don't know whether Q got anything to say, but she's gonna read the comments if there's any. I want to talk about the mayor of Meridian, Mississippi. You got several people, a lot of people gonna run for mayor, and and I'm gonna continue to talk about this. Um, I don't know whether Rita Jacks is going to run for mayor or not. I most certainly hope she do, and that's Mayor Meridian. I hope she do because, folks, let me tell you what y'all need to do. Y'all need to circle the wagons around Rita Jacks. Out of all the people that I'm about to name, it's she's not the only one that, in my opinion, would make a good mayor. But I don't think anyone would do a better job than Rita. Two Bell saying why. Two Bell already know why. Two Bell didn't say that. I believe that was Two Bell fans said that. But Two Bell fan, she's smiling now. Y'all can't see her. She's just one of his fans. But a Two Bell fan, folks, so you know, Two Bell is my, I guess you can say my that little bird in my ear. And you got the Two Bell fan to do the exact same thing when Two Bell ain't around. So Candace Two Bell fan, because she gonna correct me in a minute. I said, you ain't gonna let me tell my story, Two Bell fan. So that's how I came up with the Two Bell fan. So Candace is one of them Two Bell fans. There's a lot of them out there. See, I'm forbidden by law to disclose their name until I get them to sign a release that I can disclose their name. Two Bell said, you didn't get Candace to sign no release. I ain't got to Two Bell because she's my wife. But not all that, I ain't get you to sign one either. But anyway, folks, I want to get back to the people that are running for mayor, in my opinion, what I think. I think that people that want to be mayor should be mayor. Now, I said want to be or should be mayor or planning on running for mayor. Okay, I'm going to give everybody a name. Okay, you got naturally Jimmy Smith, the current mayor, one term. I think he wants to run for re-election. And I'm going to say this to you, Mayor Smith. Not with Dustin Markham as your judge. He need to go. I want to say this to Jimmy Smith, or is that Mayor Smith? I didn't ask you to, I never asked you to do anything special for me or for my family. But I complained to you one time about a problem. And we discussed that problem, and you told me you was going to look into it. Now, when you told me you was going to look into it, I said, thank you very much. And I assumed that you was going to look into it. And I'm not saying you did. But I want to say to you is that problem persists. So after the holidays, before the first of the year, I'm going to bring you a letter with an intent to file a lawsuit against the city of Meridian and you, because you're Dustin supervisor. So I'm saying you failed to supervise him. And I'm saying that you failed to supervise John Howell. And so, Mayor Smith, I can't support you as long as those two people are your judges. I just cannot support you. I'm proud of your accomplishments. I'm proud to have known you. It's like my big brother. I'm proud to have helped you win the primary. I helped you with that. No, I did not support him, Two Belt, when he ran for mayor. I thought a younger, more progressive person should have gotten that job. And that person was Weston Linderman. And that was my right and my choice. Now, Jimmy didn't like it now, but it's okay. We're okay now. But we might not be okay in the future if he's going to get angry at me for not supporting him. I can't support you, Jimmy, when the people that you have in your administration does everything they can to cost me money, to incarcerate me, mess with me, and mess with my family. So I can't support you. And you know, my sister, Doris Payne, is a diehard Jimmy Smith fan. She still had the first shirt when you ran for mayor, and she wore that when you ran for mayor this time. And so now I don't know because I haven't talked to her, but I know most of my family in Mississippi, and I have a lot of family there, will not support anyone that I don't support. But I don't know about Doris, but I'm gonna talk to my sister. and I'm going to ask her not to support you, and I'm going to state my reasons why. The reason why I'm going to ask her not to support you because you have Dustin Markham as your mayor, and that, I mean, as your judge, and there's no way. And folks, when he got that job, I was so proud. I just knew. I never knew. You never know, folks, until you know. It's kind of like the prize in a Cracker Jacks box. You don't know until you get down to the prize, what it is. Kind of like children when they turn 18, you don't know till they turn 18. But either way, folks, I didn't know Dustin was like that. There's no way that I'll ever support Jimmy Smith again as long as Dustin Markham is going to be his mayor. And Mr. Markham, I got to say this to you. I really appreciate your support and your contribution to the community. Also, I appreciate the times that you actually did things for me and looked the other way when I got out of prison, and you still didn't mind me being a monitor on that school bus, and I thank you for that. And because of that, I supported your son. And but I can't support your son any further. Mr. Markham, he's not you. And Dustin, your problem is that you want to be you forgetting that politics is a democracy, or democracy is what we have in America. You forgetting that the very people that help you got that job is the very people you'll need to keep that job. And Dustin, you turned on me too. You turned on me. I never turned on you. I have now because we have what you call an adversary relationship. And I ain't trying that. I ain't like those lawyers that I don't give a damn about making you mad or making any other judge mad. I just don't give a damn. Because in order to do something to me, I'm gonna have to break the law, and I'm not gonna break the law. Now you hear what Two Bell just said. Two Bell just talking to me today. He said, bro, you didn't break the law when they arrested you for sending, receiving, and possession child pornography. And you're right, Two Bell. That's the reason why I have a $50 million lawsuit against him. And I'm getting ready to file a lawsuit against WTOK, and I'm getting ready to file another one against the city of Meridian. I'm gonna give the city of Meridian an opportunity to straighten this up because I'm supposed to go to court pretty soon. If them people got enough nerves, I'm gonna immediately ask for a continuance. I'm just not going to. And I'm gonna go hire the most damn expensive fucking lawyer I can find. I know what I do. I get Catherine McNair to come back in there with me because she's a very good lawyer. Jim Williams' problem is that he let them push him around. Jim, you got to stop letting them push you around. You're very good appellate attorney, but you got to start standing up for yourself in the courtroom. It's got them damn judges. Shit. Use the law. Make the law work for yourself. But let me get back. I kind of went off on a tangent a little bit. I want to get back to the possible mayoral candidates in Meridian, Mississippi. Rita Jacks, James Carter, Percy Bland, Joe Norwood, Jr. and Sr., Wayne Davis, Ron Turner, Tabia Lindsay, and of course, Jimmy Smith. Now, I already talked about Jimmy Smith, so I want to talk about James Carter. An absolute no. I think he's young, and I think that you do need a young person for that position. But James Carter, in my opinion, is already bought and paid for. I don't care if you don't like it, but that's my opinion. Because you understand that he went from a foundation to an academy. Well, the purpose of that, folks, you cannot sell beer, cigarettes, or have this medical marijuana within 1,000 feet of a school. An academy is a school. So isn't that some shit that he put another black man out of business? That my nephew on that across the street, but my nephew can't even sell it like a lame duck now because of him making that change as a request. Now I'm told that Jimmy Smith told him to change it, and he did. Okay. That's enough of that. I don't know whether that's true or not. So that's what I'm told. So it's rumored that Jimmy Smith told him to change it, and he did. Okay. So James Carter, no. If they got James Carter running for mayor of Meridian, it's because all them white folks right there, the same group that go and get to see everybody else, done came and got him and think they not supporting Jimmy now, or they feel like Jimmy won't win re-election. Joe Norwood, Percy Bland. Hell no. Y'all need to time for that nigga and get his corrupt criminal ass up out of there. You talking about micromanaging and running everything himself and taking dope off the interstate and putting it back in there and getting money off the interstate and dividing among his ICE unit and himself and Billy Matthews, so he want that money and that power back. It's funny, Percy, how you gave all your friends a job and they still got a job because they protected your ignorant ass wasn't smart enough to know that damn democracy mean temporary job. Nigga, you got to get this job every 4 years, or instead of going around there acting like you're a king and burning bridges down, nigga, you should have been damn doing the right thing is all we ask you to do. Do the right thing. But you didn't do that. So hell no, don't you even act like somebody gonna vote for your ass. We gonna get rid of your ass so damn fast it'll make your head spin. Come on back, fool, and waste your money. Ain't nobody gonna get you. Gonna take some of that dope money that you got off the interstate and use that, and your ass gonna be broke. Then you know your wife don't love your ass anyway. She gonna kick your ass out. She probably already gonna kick you out with your gay ass. Yeah, I said it. If I'm wrong, damn it, sue me. You ain't done it. I don't see it. This ain't the first time I said it. Ain't just gay folks. He'll arrest me for shit that he like doing. He fucking goddamn like young boys, 15 and 16 years old. Don't y'all let that nigga coach y'all team. Shit, you mess around, your little boy won't be coming home. Talking about he out with person getting ice cream. All right. Yeah, I said it. I ain't never been sued for saying this shit. Joe Norwood Jr., Senior. I think that Joe Norwood Jr. I think he'll make a good mayor. I just think so. And the reason why I think so because he's young. Joe Norwood Sr. would do a good job because of his blackness, but he's too old. It's time for you to stay home. And don't get that job to your daughter, your son. Let somebody come on. Y'all stop circumventing the political process. If you're planning on retiring within the next 4 years, don't run for the damn job. Let folks know. Don't do that shit. Y'all need to cut that shit out. Wayne Davis. I think Wayne Davis will make a good mayor. I think so. I think he's at that age. I think he's been city council long enough. He knows how to do things, what to do. I think he'll make a good mayor. I think that everybody would have his ear, and I don't mean that in a bad way, meaning that if you went to him with a problem, he would listen. Ron Turner, I just think that he's keep his ass at home too. It's time for you to retire from the job you got. I don't think you should run for mayor. One, you're not from there. No, it doesn't really matter about that, but you're not. You're not. You didn't even grow up there. You didn't go to school there or to college there. But it's just that I don't think so. I just don't think so because you never really hard at your office. Other people such as Mr. McLaughlin runs the housing authority. And then of course, not Ron Turner. Old school. Nope. Tabell Lindsay. Can't we just all get along? There's no such thing as white and black. We all bleed red. Hell no, not with that kind of mentality. She's a good mother. She needs to retire from where she is and just go home and be a good wife to Mr. Lindsay. Which brings us to my final person, and that's Rita Jacks. Yes, I think Rita Jacks would, out of all the people that I just named, I think Rita Jacks would make a better mayor than any of the people that I named because she's been there. She was born in Meridian, Mississippi, grew up in the neighborhood. Everybody respect Rita. I'm talking about the OG, the triple OG, and the double OG. The college educated person with the bachelor's degree, the master's degree, Mr. Beerbo like her, Miss Beerbo like her, Mr. Joe Black like her, Mr. Joe White like her. I mean, everybody likes Rita. Rita has that kind of personality, and she is so professional. And she's a fighter. Everything they've done to her, they've already settled with her one time, paid her over. I hope she don't mind me saying this. They've settled with her one time. The amount of money, don't have to worry about it. But they gonna have to settle with her again because she has another lawsuit. And this is not the first time. They should knew from before she sued them and she prevailed. So Rita's not going to. What I like about Rita is that Rita is for what's right. She gonna put the right person there as chief of police. She's gonna put the right person there as CAO, and it ain't gonna be based on the color of your skin. It ain't gonna be based on how many favors you turn up, how much money you donated to a campaign. It's not gonna be based on any of those things. It's gonna be based on your qualification. You're not gonna get that job as community development director just because you gave the most money to the campaign or you've known her for 30 years. You're not going to get that job. You're going to get that job because you're going to be the most qualified person for that job. You know what? I could lay down and rest if Rita Jacks become mayor. And let's talk about poetic justice. Isn't that something? That I expected Jimmy to go there and not maintain status quo or keep things going like they've been going all the time. I really expected Jimmy to go there and do right by what's for that community. If he had done that, the most quality, you don't bring someone out of retirement that who never been in a leadership position such as mayor or such. Rita was the most out of all the people that they have, candidates that have been selected to be chief of police for Meridian Police Department since Percy Bland, the most qualified person for that position, hands down, has been Rita Jacks. Percy had 5 chief of police, all of them unqualified, all of them not able to handle the job. The last one, I don't think he ever even had the rank of sergeant before and made him chief of police, and that was Chris Reed. Yeah, and I have a lawsuit against Chris Reed behind that stuff that they pulled on me. And so, no, Rita would be the most qualified person. I want to thank y'all for listening in right now. We're gonna read your chats, and then we're going to take it on home. Okay, and I want you guys to have a safe and happy holidays. Okay. Q, you know how to hit these buttons? Go ahead.
The Donna said, hey, Gray.
Hey, LaDonna.
And
Happy holidays to you and my grandson.
Rhonda said, I guess she said, she was talking about.
She got to be talking about God.
She was, she was talking about Dwayne. I guess she was talking about Dwayne Davis. And she said, yes, he will.
Well, if she said yes, he will. When somebody said, "Won't God do it?"
Yes, he will.
Hey, but Rhonda said Wayne Davis. See how my sister saying she support Wayne Davis. But Rhonda, you know, we team Hope. So however we go now. If Wayne Davis run and Rita don't run, then we definitely going to I think let's just talk suppositions for a minute. Let's suppose that Rita and Wayne run for mayor and they have a runoff. And then I think they should, if they have a runoff and say Rita win, and then I think Wayne, I ain't gonna even say that. I ain't say that because sometimes the people don't know, because the people do get it wrong. They reelected damn Percy Bland a second time and they should have. And I think that a lot of times that the most qualified person did not get that job. I want to thank you all for listening in. And I was cute. Come on, play my banner. I want to thank you for listening in, and y'all have a safe holiday. Merry Christmas to all of you.